Oh, hey, how's it going, everybody? Well, I'm back to do another vlog. And this week, we're going to be talking about drunk stories. And I'm going to say most of them, if not maybe all of them, are going to end up in vomiting. So, if you're grossed out by the details of this kind of stuff, you might want to turn this video off right now. You've been warned. Okay, so, yeah, many of these stories involve me, some of them don't, but, where do I want to start off at? Oh, I know. I remember, me and my buddy Josh, yes, he's in these stories a lot too, especially the older ones. Anyway, me and my buddy Josh, it was right after he turned 21, we went to this place called Wanda's, which is near Harrisburg. And, I only had a couple drinks that night because I was a DD. And we drove there in my 94 Pontiac Sunbird, which, if you watched the last vlog, it was featured in my early autobiography. Anyway, we drove there in that car, and I don't know how many drinks he had that night, but people were buying shit tons of drinks for him since he just turned 21. And he was kind of like trying to hit it off with this Asian chick. He wasn't bad looking, Well, about an hour of time passed, I couldn't find him. It's like, where the fuck is he at? I'm ready to go. I don't know, I thought maybe he was in the hotel there with her, and you can kind of write the rest of that story. But no, eventually I found him, so then we went to leave. It was about an hour drive home that night. So, I'd say the bar closed around 2, and at this point, it was probably almost 3 in the morning, and I'm just driving down the road, about 10 minutes from home, and without warning, he rolls down his window, and he tries to barf while I'm driving down the road. Well, he succeeded at getting the barf out of the car, but it flew right back in. I shit you not. And I'm telling you, it is so fucking disgusting. His barf actually flew in the car. I got hit in the side of the, right here in the side of the face with it. And if somebody was sitting behind him, it was all over the inside of the back glass too, on the back window. So if somebody would have been sitting in the back seat, they would have got it square in the face. All over the interior, all over the carpet. Well, I finally get pulled over and he finishes puking in some dude's yard. I'm sure they got a surprise the next morning, right along the road. And then we started a little ways down the road again. It happened again. No warning. But I'm not gonna lie, I was pissed off. And he tried to clean it up, but he was so drunk that he just made it worse. So I cleaned it up the next day, and the interior in the car actually was real dark, almost not quite black, but it was a real dark gray. And somehow or another, he managed to stain the fucking carpet there in the passenger floor pan. Oh man, that was rough. That was the only time that anybody has ever barfed in my vehicle. Yeah, I wasn't very happy about that. But, at least I can laugh at it now. Oh, well. So, we move on to another story. This one also involving Josh. Josh, I hope you're watching. Hey, how's it going? Well, he actually lived in this trailer that was kind of out in the middle of the country. He rented it from this dude who lived across the road. And it had about an acre of land to it. We had this slip and slide and shit going down the yard. Big old fucking shindig. Well, little up to me, dude who tried to create the beer float, I had the bright idea to take a whole bottle of Bacardi and soak it in a bunch of fruit salad. And I'm talking a 2.5 gallon tub full of it. I put 6 cans about that big inside the tub, and I put the whole bottle of Bacardi in it and let it soak for a day or two. And so I took a little sample taste of it, and I thought, shit, it's a little bit too strong. Well, I took and put another can of fruit salad in it, and I thought, okay, it diluted enough. It it really didn't have all that much bite to it. So, I brought this fucking tub of fruit salad to Josh's 4th of July party this one year. And, of course, I drank about a 12-pack that day as we were preparing things. And I had about 3 or 4 helpings of that fruit salad. Well, it's pretty fucking bad when you're plastered up fucking drunk before beer pong started. Yeah, no shit. I was that hammered. And I probably, barfed in his yard a couple times. Yeah, I do remember the fireworks at least. But the best part, or to me, maybe the worst part, was the very next morning when I woke up. July 4th hangover, or better known as July 5th. Well, I woke up. I slept on his living room couch, so I woke up and I kind of stepped out on his porch. And like I said earlier, the landlord kind of lived right across the road. And he had a pretty decent looking daughter. And I just remember I walked out there, and of course his daughter's standing outside, and about as soon as the sun hit me in the face, it was pretty hot out that day. It was about maybe noontime at this time when I got up, and I walked outside. Well, the sun kind of hit me in the face. I'm kind of standing on the porch, and right about the time that sun hit me, I'm like, "Wah!" I literally projected vomit, literally over the porch into the yard. It was like an arch, of vomit coming through the yard. And of course, this girl's seen this, and I'm thinking, oh, fuck, I just embarrassed myself. Oh, yeah, that was a pretty bad hangover. Holy shit. Alright, here's another story that doesn't involve any of us. One night, I was in Shippensburg here, and as you locals here know, Shippensburg is pretty much like a college party town. You go to Sheetz at 2 in the morning on a Sunday morning, and you get the drunk people and possibly the stone people, getting their food and stuff, Everybody gets the munchies at 2 in the morning here, apparently, on a Sunday morning. Just walking down the sidewalk, and there's this car kind of parked along the store, and I see this girl kind of opening up the passage door, and she's like, "Hurrah! Hurrah! Hurrah!" And I'm just chuckling at her about it, and she looks at me like, "What are you laughing at?" All the shit you see in this town. So, while we're on the subject of Shippensburg, of course, going back to another me and Josh story of a night of being drunk, there's another instance right after he turned 21. So, me and him decided to do a little bar hopping right here in Shippensburg. Well, his girlfriend at the time had an apartment right in town. So, we were figured on, just crashing there for the night after we got done bar hopping. So, we had about 2 or 3 bars that night, and people, once again, were buying him drinks and shots, and one dude was buying him, Bacardi 151 shots. I mean, that's some pretty potent shit right there. But he got so fucking hammered up that we couldn't walk back to his girlfriend's house, which was I don't know, maybe 12 blocks away from the last bar we were at. So, we hitched a ride with a couple college kids, and got dropped off at her house. So we get back there, and I'm telling you, he was so fucking hammered, you almost had to help him in the door. Well, he got into his girlfriend's bedroom, and just all of a fucking sudden, he puked all over her shoes, all over the bed. Oh, it was a fucking mess. So, in the midst of that, I went outside to get a couple things out of my car, and I go to come back in the house, and the fucking door was locked. I thought, oh shit, she's pissed that I got him hammered. So, it's whatever, I'll sleep out in the fucking car. And this was in the Thunderbird. It was right after I bought that car. Well, anyway, I kind of stretched out on the backseat of the Thunderbird, and I fell asleep, and her apartment had, limited parking. You're only allowed, a couple vehicles in this designated parking area. So, I parked over in the church parking lot right behind them. Whatever, So, I kind of stretched across the back seat and I fell asleep. The very next morning, I get this knock on my window. It was a fucking Shippensburg cop. Here, what had happened is I passed out in the back seat of my Thunderbird in the pastor's parking spot. But you know what? The cop didn't get me for DUI. So, he didn't charge me for nothing or anything, but I was pretty much told to get out of there. But that was like a big fuck you to the cops, you know, because, you know, I wasn't getting DUI. I mean, that's some serious shit. But, yeah, that was pretty bad. I guess I'll tell a couple of more recent tales involving just me, I guess. Well, every Halloween, my uncle up on the mountain here, he used to throw this Halloween party. He got this big-ass shed, and he'd get a DJ and an outhouse, had a big-ass fucking cooker. We had the whole deal going those parties. Well, I was helped setting this shit up the one year, and once again, I drank about 12 beers in the midst of doing this. And my other uncle came out from Reading, and he used to make his own wine. Him and my dad used to do this shit a lot. They'd make their own wine. Well, after that 12-pack of beer, and after my uncle had showed up, my other uncle, well, let's just say I sampled a little bit too much wine, and, well, it hit me like a freight train. And it was like misting outside, like almost like a rain, like a misty rain. And I was kind of like falling around out in the woods. And I kind of leaned out against the building and threw up a couple times. Well, it took my dad and my two uncles to get me across the driveway, and then they laid me on the kitchen floor with like a garbage bag beside me. Very next morning, we were cleaning the party up, and my uncle had an extension ladder kind of like leaned up against the building. I must have ate some fucking macaroni salad right before I barfed that last time, because there was regurgitated macaroni salad all over this ladder, and my uncle's like, "You're gonna spray this off!" Oh God, I think that was the worst shape I've ever been in front of my parents. But of course, you know, I was old enough to know better, too dumb to care. Oh God, that was bad. Another one, which I would say was my last time I've ever blacked out from drinking, was, I don't know, probably about 3 years ago. My buddy Terry invites me to his house. We had a little bit of a party going on there. And I had a bottle of, I went the Captain and Coke route that night, basically. Whole bottle of Captain, whole bottle of Coke. And I was drinking a good bit of it here and there. Well, we were playing this game called Pass Out. It was like a board game. And, you know, I kind of like picked up this one card, I read it, and it said, either skip a turn or take 15 drinks. Well, at that point, I was so fucking drunk that I was overconfident that I could take 15 drinks. So it's like, oh, fuck it. I finished the whole bottle of Captain and the bottle of Coke. And mind you, I drank the whole bottle of Captain and the whole bottle of Coke in 2 hours by myself. Well, needless to say, after that part of the game, shit went black. I literally drank myself blind. And Terry actually lives along a pretty busy road. Like, you step out his front door and you're like 5 steps and you're on the road. I kind of vaguely remember him kind of dragging me up that little hill along the road, and it's kind of scary when you think about it. Of course, he remembers a hell of a lot more than I do, but he claims that my pulse he thinks my pulse actually stopped. So he kind of like dragged me onto the couch in the living room, and of course the next morning I woke up still drunk. Oh man. That night right there pretty much broke me of excessively doing hard stuff. I'm mainly a beer guy now. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I don't even think I've had Captain since that night. But anyway, I'm going to go back to another old story. involving Josh once again. How's it going, Josh? Well, my buddy Scotty, he lived in a trailer park right up the road here. So, now and then we'd have a few party nights when his parents would go away. Shh, don't tell. But anyway, there was this game called Power Hour. Now, for those of you who don't know what Power Hour is, let's see if we're on the air here still. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, you can tell we're not scripted here. I kind of ad-lib this stuff. I don't want to go telling stories and realize I'm off the air for like 10 minutes, and then it's like, fuck, where did I let off, you know? Anyway, as I was saying about Power Hour, for those who don't know, this is how it works. What you do is you take a shot of beer, like a regular shot glass. You take a shot of beer every minute for an entire hour. So basically you take 60 shots of beer all in a row. And the last one to still take shots of beer wins. Well, this really didn't involve me because I didn't partake in it, but I at least got to witness it. So it was Josh versus Scotty, and I think there was another dude involved too, I forget. So fucking long ago. But anyway, you know, first minute rolls around, take a shot of beer. Second minute, shot of beer. You know, it just keeps going on like this until you get the last man standing. Or until everybody gets 60 shots in. I don't know what you do for tiebreakers there. But anyways, I think the first dude, he was out of the competition by about 20 shots of beer. Well, number 36 rolls around and shot. Of course, Scotty, he's a big fucking dude. In fact, he was like the quarterback at Shippensburg High School the one year. And I guess he's like, I'm done. So then Josh, he's like a beanpole compared to Scotty. I'm impressed how he held up in this. He takes shot number 37, slams it, and then next thing you know, he comes running down the hall, out the door, and hoo-ah! Hoo-ah! I won! Hoo-ah! Oh, man. So that was pretty much a lot of my drunken, barfing tales, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what I'm going to title this video yet until I post it, because it'll probably be a couple weeks from now. But, yep, I'm on call tonight, sitting here bored. I can't even go see my girlfriend because I'm on call, and she's at home sick. Wish she'd get better. But she'll probably be better by the time she sees this. But, yeah, I got a lot more random vlogs and shit to do here, and stay tuned for them, and we'll see you later.